Oh my god, he looked right at the camera as I did this. Yep. Larry Cam. Alright, let me go ahead and get the game screen up. Is he gonna show? Yes, he does show. Nice. Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. Seems like I have a reading partner today. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny this morning when Thom would not let me be in a separate room than him. Like, he had to make sure I was in the same room. Like, when I went to take a shower, he waited by the door. You're clean this morning. There's food in your bowl when you're hungry. I know it's around your feeding time. But, yeah, I think all my announcements are out. Let me double check that. Thom, I'm going to remove my hand for one moment. He gets really upset whenever I move my hand off of him. Alright. Yep. Okay, blue sky announcement will run out. Yes, it's all working. My process of automating when I post stuff on social media is working really well. I'm so happy that's working. Yeah, you know, rushing to launch everything all at once did get a little stressful, especially when I'm, like, making big announcements for, like, you know, my jobs and such. So learning how to automate that stuff, as well as, like, using third-party apps like Buffer, that has been a lifesaver. That's one thing I'll say at the beginning of the stream. But, yeah, I don't think people are here to see the production of my streams, even though I will be willing to make a video or stream about that in the future. I think everyone's ready for the tragedy to occur. And I'm gonna be sure that I have my mouse. Oh, wait, no, don't get up, don't get up. If he gets up, that means it's game over for everyone. It's game over if the cat gets up. Oh no, stream's over. The kitty's gone up. Nah, he's just gonna destroy things. Thom, get back up. Yeah, he's going to be destroying things in the background. Well, that's what he's going to be doing all stream. Is someone at the door? The flow of time was hazy within the mansion's walls. They had little way of telling whether it was night or day, preventing them from knowing exactly how much time had passed. It's either that someone's here with a delivery, or a tragedy is about to occur when another person enters. The white-haired girl had made a habit of climbing the observation tower every so often to see whether the sun was up, which allowed her to approximate the time of day. Consequently, when she heard the knock on the door, she was not aware just how deep the night was outside, that forest and beasts alike lay quietly at rest. Oh, it's the middle of the night and someone's knocking. That's not good. All right. The stores in the cellar are almost exhausted. But why are you making a delivery at night? It must be this month's delivery. In the middle of the night? Not thinking it was worth bothering Michelle over, she made her way out of her chambers and headed for the entrance. I don't have a good feeling about this. There had only been a single knock, leading her to conclude that, as before, the servant had simply left the box outside the door. So without a second thought, she opened the door, and there she saw a strange, vagrant man standing in the moonlight. His clothes were tattered, his bearded face bony and emaciated. She gasped, shrinking back several paces. The heavy door began to swing shut, but the man forced it open, glaring down at her with unfocused eyes and mumbling. Ye the witch, grant people's wishes. It was in that moment the white-haired girl realized she had been careless. The man had sought out the mansion because he believed the legend of the witch, and he did not seem particularly right in mind either. Perhaps a result of wandering through the forest for several days, or perhaps it was because he was so beaten down that he thought to ask for a witch's help. In a word, he seemed mad. Also, my witch is not working. Oh my god. Yeah, I've not updated the Mac that I review my Twitch feed over, so it may be a bit messy in terms of like the software. There we go. I got it all fixed. In a word, he seemed mad. No. There was no witch here. Sure there is. Don't you lie to me. I can hear the witch's voice. She led me to this house. I promise you, there isn't. Now please, be on your way. Have you any idea how long it took to find this place? How many days I've gone without food or water? And yet telling me to get lost? I don't know what you want from me. I am happy to give you a little food, so please. Is there really no witch? There's no witch here. It's nothing but a legend. If she does exist, she doesn't live here. I see. That means you're just an ordinary person. Just a person. Just a girl. So there ain't a thing you can do. No! Get away from me! What are you doing? Why waste time waiting for you to get a little grub when I could just take it all? I'm starving here! I'm so hungry I could eat a human! You're about to commit a grievous sin. Are you not ashamed to act in defiance of God? God? If I believed in God, I would come back into a witch? Would I become back into a witch? I don't fear him, and I sure as hell don't fear people. Who's gonna show up at a house in the middle of nowhere? Who's gonna call me out? Who's gonna stop me? No one, that's who. No one's gonna stop me, and no one's gonna offer me salvation. There's a thought. You're a woman, so before I kill you... Oh, fuck you. What are you doing? What? There's other people here? The white-haired girl lay pinned on the floor, beneath the yelling bandit, pleading for help with her ruby eyes. Michelle's gonna touch him. As soon as Michelle grasped the situation, he tossed his candlestick aside and leapt for the man. The candlestick gave a sharp clang when it hit the floor. The impact extinguished the flame, bringing the mansion to near-perfect darkness. Something glinted in the bandit's hand, and then, without hesitation, he thrust it at Michelle. Shit! Ugh! Oh, fuck, he got hit! Michelle! How stupid must ye be to come at me unarmed? In his hand, the man held a knife, its tip dripping with Michelle's blood. Red spilled from the gash in his arm, the flow growing heavier with each passing moment. You're the only person here, by the looks of it, eh? Perfect! I take you both out! You. What? You don't appear to know whose house you try to break into. What are you on about? Regret your ignorance to your very last breath. You're messed up in the head, you madman! Hey, stay the hell back! Take one more step, man! Nope. Ho, 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 ho. Well, that's intimidating. Huh. I inherited the witch's curse. Let go! Michelle clutched the man's face in one hand. The man raised his knife to strike back, but... What? What's happening? The strength drained from his fingers, the knife falling to the floor. The man writhed in Michelle's grip. Me face! Me face! I can't breathe! leave this place immediately. Though, you won't get far afflicted with my curse. Helpless to fight back. Nay. Helpless to even consider fighting back. The bandit fled from the mansion in terror. In his wake, only the white-haired girl and a bleeding Michelle remained. I just saw a man's life drained from him. His face withering away, sucked completely dry. I didn't doubt him, but dear God, that was quite disturbing for you, I'm sure. No, not at all. Oh, don't lie. It's my fault anyway, if I hadn't been so careless. Oh, your arm. We have to get that wrapped up. Please, do not touch me. You mustn't touch me. The wound is hardly fatal. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry. No. A degree of blame falls on me for saying nothing. Next time someone comes to the door, let me know. I'm sorry. Please. You don't need to apologize. Well, yes. For once. I'm actually proud of myself. Proud that I could use this terrible ability of mine to do something more than just take life. To protect someone I care about. Like I said, please don't apologize. Alright. Thank you. Michelle? I'm glad you're here. I care about you too. Thank you. Had the flame of Michelle's candle not gone out when he threw it to the floor, he would have seen a heartfelt smile on the white-haired girl's face. And she would have seen a flush of red and an awkward smile on Michelle's normally blank face. Oh man, of course the darkness hid that. He also might have seen a little glimmer on her cheek, where a few drops of his blood had landed. Oh, fuck! Does that count? Wait, does that count, though? But alas, they had no light. But does that count? Wait, does it count? Is she going to be alive? Because if she's alive still, then it didn't count. The collapse of their happiness came slowly, gradually. Perhaps it was because she had touched his blood instead of his skin. But the deterioration of the white-haired girl's health crept along at a relaxed pace. Okay, so she is getting affected, but it was a lot slower because it was the blood, not the body. The life was not sucked out of her in the blink of an eye, as it had been from the bandit. I said that correctly, but it sounded so wrong. As it had been from the bandit. There we go. She merely grew progressively less and less healthy. Amidst her physical decay, she was bestowed with one blessing. Her beauty remained untouched. But as far as blessings went, surely there were others she could not have been granted. Could God have not picked something a little better for her? By the time the two of them realized what was happening, it was already too late. The white-haired girl had grown so weak, she could hardly leave her bed. Yes. Oh, you are there. I am. Thank goodness. I can't see very well anymore. She's getting blinded. How could this happen? I thought I had saved you, but no. I did the exact opposite. Please, Don't talk that way. You did save me that day. But you're on the cusp of death now, and it's my fault. Because of this curse I bear. How? How could this happen? Why did this have to happen? What am I? Why was I given this body? Michelle. Can I, ask you a favor? Go ahead. Stay with me, please. As much as you can. Until the very end. I was going to do as much anyway. Thank you. I'm happy, Michelle. Happier than I ever have been. And I mean that. You didn't just save my life. You saved me. I've been saved. But only me. I wonder how he'll handle things when I'm gone. If only I hadn't opened the door that day. I wouldn't be leaving him all alone. And we could be happy together for even longer. Yes? Would you please hold my hand? I think it's probably safe now. I will not. I cannot touch you. If I do, I might take what remains of your life. Take your beauty away and force you to die hideous. I cannot touch you. Oh my god. Jesus, what's up with the glitches here? Oh, okay, we're already at the end of that part. Oh, is it like the deterioration of the white-haired girl we're seeing with all the flashes? Or the deterioration of Michelle Sandy as... Oh. Interesting. As I was gonna say, is this the deterioration of Michelle's mind because he killed the white-haired girl by accident while he was trying to protect her from the bandit? Because it does feel like he's slowly, losing his sanity in this chapter because of the tragedy that befell the both of them. And here. On his way back from the washroom several days later, Michelle heard muffled voices. Oh no, a mob of villagers is coming. Got it? Kid. Good. He was having troubles making out what they were saying, but he could tell it was several men, and they were outside the front door. The fact that he could hear them at all through the heavy door meant they were probably shouting quite loudly. Yep, I think they're going to be here to kill the witch, or, kill Michelle for the touch. An indescribable sense of uneasiness came over him. Dread. He drew nearer to the door and focused on the voices on the other side. They grew clearer, enough for him to make out what the men were saying. Everything's in place. We're ready to kill this witch now. This is definitely the place. That half-dead bandit said she was in this mansion. Listen well. No matter what we find in there, we kill it. It could be a child for all I care. That doesn't change anything. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. What he heard beyond the door was a group of men shouting for the death of the witch. In that moment, Michelle regretted his decision to let the bandit go free and not watch over him until the moment of his demise. He must have made his way down to the village in search for help, where he revealed what he found at the mansion. Damn it! But it was too late. Regret would solve nothing. He could neither stop the villagers from raiding the house, nor could he stop the white-haired girl from dying to the effects of his curse. What did Michelle do to deserve this one? Like, to the degree, the curse of the witch is the sheer fact that everyone wished for something, and then they got, you know, a bad thing happening to them in return. So what did Michelle do, and what did he wish for? Or are we about to get to the witch? The wish, yeah. So we're about to get to Michelle's wish, I bet. Because I don't think he's made one yet that would, you know, lead to this sort of Midas touch curse of his. Like, I don't know why he would deserve something like this just yet. He was helpless to do anything. The gears of his fate had locked him onto a path of tragedy, and were turning mercilessly onward. Huh! The men had begun trying to break down the door with what sounded like a battering ram. While the first strike was not enough to breach the barrier, it was still quite powerful. He was certain it would not hold for long. Michelle's mind raced. Was there anything he could do about this predicament? How could he escape from the corner he had been backed into? Despite his possessing inhuman powers, he would be powerless against a full mob of adult men. You see, Michelle, you know the mansion more than these men. You could probably take them down. If they split apart and you hide around in the mansion, you take them down one by touching them from the shadows. That could be what Michelle could do. Like, literally, you can take them down one by one in the shadows if they split apart in the mansion if he hides. But the white-haired girl might be in danger because if the men split up and find her, they would just kill her. Shit. Michelle's in a pretty tough predicament. I mean, the white-haired girl's about to die anyway, but at the same time, she should not die by a mob of angry men. The villagers almost certainly came armed as well. Michelle, wait, are you up? A weak voice came from behind him. Aghast, he spun around to find the white-haired girl stumbling toward him. She breathed heavily, leaning against columns for support. What are you doing out here? You'll only worsen your condition by exerting yourself. I had a sinking feeling, and I heard noises on my way here. It seems that I have brought all my misfortune upon you. Maybe the white-haired girl was the one that is getting the witch's curse. She wanted somewhere to stay. She found somewhere to stay, and now misfortune's being brought upon her. Well, even further misfortune. Like, she had a few days of happiness, and then, you know, it all came apart. Don't say that. If I hadn't come here, this would have never happened. You never would have been in any danger. Please, Michelle, hand me over to the men outside. Absolutely not. I will do no such thing. They're here for the witch, aren't they? I'm guessing they're the same people who were chasing me before. The village had a poor harvest this year, I hear. Like the village in the legend. And they believe it's the witch's curse. But you're not a witch! They need someone to fill the role, though. So please, hand me over, and then escape on your own. I could never. Please, Michelle. I'm the one who's cursed, not you. And you want me to hand you over? What would I have left then? Nothing. Not a thing. I will have nothing. After so long, I finally found someone who isn't afraid of me, who won't run. I have no interest in a world that will take you away from me, make me live alone once more. To hell with such a world. Michelle. And they're going to be ripped apart by the mob together. Would you be willing to die with me? If that's what you wish, then stay with me until the very end. Lots of Michelle doesn't die here. I probably want to hear that just as much as him. No, not probably. I did. I wanted to have someone at my side as much as him. It's so lonely not having anyone. To live alone. To die alone. To not have anyone watching over you. For no one to even know you were dead. I simply wanted someone to tell me that they're here for me. To be there. To hold my hand. How wonderful that would be. The sense of utter relief it would bring would be enough to cast away all the pain. To allow me to accept all our suffering. So please, tell me you'll hold my hand. Oh wait, is the door closing? Wait, huh? Okay, spend the final moments. Okay. I was a little bit confused at first. I thought the door was closing. The maid was going to give us like a final spiel for door 4. Never mind. Michelle and the white-haired girl chose to spend their final moments at the top of the observation tower. They could hear the crash of the battering ram against the door, the shouts of men, and their stomping feet. But despite all that, the ray of light shining through the little window was as beautiful as always. The room's air of serenity remained unimpeached. After the long climb to the top, the white-haired girl was terribly out of breath. Michelle considered several times offering her his hand, but the possibility that doing so might rob her of her last scraps of life stayed in his. I'm gonna repeat that. But the possibility of doing so might rob her of her last scraps of life stayed his hand. It sounds like they broke down the door. I'm glad we made it up here when we did. I'm so sorry for asking this of you. Don't be. I would have chosen here for my final moments as well. This is the one place in this mansion with any sunlight. The one place I can get a good look at you. Thank you. Oh, are they about to kiss? Wait, it looks like they're holding each other, aren't they? I'm truly glad that I was able to end up here. That I was able to meet you. And more than anything, that you said you cared about me. Have I managed to become an essential part of your life? Do you even need to ask? I wouldn't be here otherwise. I feel the same way as you. I'm sure of it. The two of us are more similar than you probably care to admit. Can I ask you one more thing? Go on. Would you embrace me? If this is to be the end, if this is to be my last chance, then I don't want it to end without having been able to touch you. Please, don't refuse me this, Michelle. Just do it, please. I won't keep you waiting long. Thank you. The truth is, I always wanted this. I dreamed of being able to hold you. I dreamed of it too. In a way, this is also a mercy kill, because she would not feel the pain of getting torn apart by the mob. Instead, she would just die the death from Michelle's touch. Thank you. I'm so very... And she's dead. She's still so beautiful. Cruel joke. Could you have not given us some other miracle? One that will allow us both to survive? Where are you? Where'd you get off to? I can't find her, damn it. Oh, that's my voice. Oh, okay, that still works. I thought Michelle was just angered. But yeah, no. Yep. Oh no, are they not oh, fuck. What happens if they leave without finding them? Okay, I think they're still gonna find them though. Hey! There's some stairs over here! They lead up! They lead up! Beneath a single ray of light, the white-haired girl lay completely still. Not even a frail sigh escaped her closed lips. She remained as gorgeous as ever. It was as though she had simply fallen asleep in the sunlight. Looking down upon her, Michelle determined to do one thing. I will not allow anyone to sully this sight. He gave a fleeting glance back at her pristine corpse, then opened the door and stepped through it alone. He would protect that room where she lay. Hey! There's someone up there! Up here! So this is where you've been hiding, you infernal witch! Wait, that's not the girl! The raucous sound of their footsteps rang up from below. Shortly thereafter, the men themselves came into view. As he had expected, they were heavily armed. He glowered at the men, then sucked in a deep breath and shouted at the top of his lungs, I am the witch you seek! I have inherited a curse, and it is I who brings calamity upon you. You hear that? But he's a man or woman, it doesn't matter. Death to anyone who has ties to the witch. Cleanse this earth of all impurity. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Michelle did not flinch at the sight of the men. He stood unyielding between them and the door. He did not flinch when they raised their weapons against him, nor when they pierced his body. Oh shit, okay, we're going to get an image of Michelle getting torn apart. Holy shit. That's gotta be painful. That's gotta be painful, dude. Die and take your curse with you. I have no need for this life any longer. It's all yours. I am cursed to kill even that which I wish to protect. But at the very least, I can protect one thing before my life is done. Not even one of you will leave this place. Wither and die by my curse. The blood spilling from his cured body flowed down the stairs, down and down like a little river, soaking the feet of every single man who had stormed the mansion. This was the last thing he saw before the final grains of life slipped between his fingers, which brought a faint smile to his lips. It's a tragic ending for Michelle and the white-haired girl, but at least the, villagers are also going to die with them. Because they're slowly just going to die from the blood. Alright, what's your analysis made? Oh? Wait, what? Neither of them had expected what happened next, though, for God has a most twisted sense of humor. The white-haired girl had not miraculously passed away without being robbed of her beauty. Why am I still alive? She had, rather, not passed away at all. It's because Michelle died before she died. She may have been still, but she might not have been dead yet, and as soon as Michelle died... Oh. Quite cruel of him, was it not? Michelle? Where have you gone, Michelle? Michelle. I smell blood. For had he allowed her to die, she would not have been made witness to the scene that awaited her. No. No. And I am sure you know just what it was she had laid eyes upon in that moment. The ravaged corpse of her beloved. A torrent of blood streaming down the spiral staircase. And the sickening stench it raised. No! Why? And his was not the only body. All the villagers are dead too. The villagers who had assaulted the mansion had been subject to his curse. The life drained from their withered shells. Why did this? Michelle, why? Why am I the only one still alive? That is a question I cannot answer either. Perhaps his curse did not affect those he loved, as terribly cruel as that might be. I cannot say. Why? You said we will go together. A world without you has no meaning. Had she actually expended her life there in the room at the top of the tower, perhaps this tale could have had a happy ending. She would at least been able to have the man she loved at her side into her very last moments upon this earth. But that was not what had transpired. She had survived, been left utterly alone. I felt a profound pity for the miserable girl, so I called out to her. Oh shit! Oh, the white-haired girl's gonna make a wish now. Holy shit. So the narrator was the witch. The witch. Morgana. Interesting. Would you like to see him once more? What? I have the power to help you meet him again. Who's there? Where are you? You know what they call this mansion. So, who do you suppose remains on these grounds? No way. You're from the legend. You actually exist? Now, I asked you a simple question. Would you like to see him again? The witch grants people's wishes, but at a price. I said I wouldn't ask for her assistance if I met her. But that's all changed. Now that I've lost him. If it's truly possible, then yes, I want to see him. Bring him back to life. Regrettably, I cannot directly meddle with the forces of life and death. However, I can guarantee you this. Your reconstruction. Reconstruction? Correct. To ensure that you remain as yourself in future lives, and are not reborn as someone else. Your body and mind shall be reconstructed. Oh, wait, this is an explanation why the white-haired girl keeps on appearing in different worlds. As shall his. Oh? If you sincerely wish to reunite with one another, if you genuinely need each other in your lives, you will eventually meet again. All I can promise you is an eternal reconstruction. What you make of it is up to you. You want to see him again, don't you? You want to hear his voice again, don't you? You want to feel his hand on your cheek once more, don't you? If that's what you want, then you must remain who you are. If you are simply reborn, That wouldn't be you. So there wouldn't be any point, would there? Me, as I am, and he, as he is. Make up your mind quickly. I'll not wait long. I want to see him again! As you wish, sweet little girl. I shall grant you both eternal reconstruction, and pray with all my heart that you can attain true happiness. Interesting. Does this imply that the maid becomes, never mind, no. Maybe the maid is Morgana. That's what I'm thinking right now. The maid's Morgana. Yeah, not the maid will become Morgana. No, she was already Morgana. So Morgana takes the form as the maid to watch over the white-haired girl. That's what I'm assuming here. But who's the master of the house then? Like, who's the master we've been playing as this whole time? Shortly thereafter, the white-haired girl took her own life. She decided she had nothing to gain by remaining in the present time, and that in order to reunite with Michelle, she needed to make her way to her next life. And thus, the mansion was left bereft of a master, to travel slowly through the ages until someone came along to give it life once more. That could be the Rhodes family at that point. Or someone else? I mean, it is like 1099, and the Rhodes family came in the 1600s, so that's like 600 years before someone laid claim to the mansion. But an unfathomable amount of time has passed. I'm just gonna use my Morgana voice for the maid at the moment. But an unfathomable amount of time had passed, and the two of you, not the two of you. What? I'm gonna reread this one more time. But an unfathomable amount of time has passed, and the two have still yet to reunite. Have they, Master? You know now who you are, do you not? You remember everything now, do you not? You are present in every single era. The reason for which is as I described in the previous tale. Because you yearn to be reunited with someone. Oh wait, are we the white-haired girl? Like, is the master of the white-haired girl, or are we Michelle? We might be Michelle, actually, because the white-haired girl shows up in all the stories. However, the master also shows up in all the stories as an observer. So we might have been Michelle the whole time. Maybe. But that person never showed up. In any era. Or we might be the white-haired girl. We might just be the white-haired girl. And poor sweet you, having no memory of any of that. Live those lives with other men. Is it any surprise misfortune befell those eras then? The door swung close. But rather than outside, you and the maid were inside the dull, monochrome room at the top of the observation tower. The awe-inspiring ray of light shone not through the low window high upon the stone wall. Wrapped in a curious, impenetrable darkness, you both stood alone in the room. The maid wore a gentle, but brittly cold smile as she looked straight at you. It is not your fault misfortune befell you. The only force to blame for that is fate. You were always so kind, so pure of heart. Okay, this pretty much confirms we're the white-haired girl. You had boundless trust for others and the goodness of people. You are the very image of all that is right. There is no greater misfortune than someone as pure and beautiful as you, being mercilessly thrown into the grinding gears of tragedy again and again. I still pity you for everything you had to go through. You poor, poor soul. You must be utterly exhausted, constantly betrayed, the man you are waiting for never appearing. After so long, your spirit wore down to the bone, you lost any and all awareness of who you even were. Who you were hoping to find wandering into this illusory mansion, cut off from the real world. You and I are the only ones here. The man you seek is nowhere to be found. Have you still not figured it out? Then allow me to tell you everything. I am the cursed witch, Morgana, who haunts this mansion. Okay, we can put two and two together here. And you are the tragic plaything of fate. The white-haired girl named Giselle. Did my calling you master confuse you? If so, then I apologize. My habit of calling the master, or mistress, of the house master is quite deeply ingrained. And yes, that means precisely what you think it does. That I've accepted you as my new master. That I wish for you to remain here. To stay with me. So let us put an end to this journey. Do not worry. There is nothing to fear. We are simply going to step outside the river of time. Nothing unpleasant will ever happen to you again. I will be here with you for all eternity, and I will give you my utmost care. You will not have to wait for anyone. Forget about him, the man you once sought. And I am sure you shall find happiness. Please, do it for me. I have been waiting for you for so very long. I have wanted nothing more than to see you again. But you were continually stolen away from me, despite my sincerest desires to spend my days with you. Which is why I wanted you to recall everything. For surely you would not willingly repeat the same fate. Something doesn't feel right here. I don't know why, but May being Morgana and us being the white-haired girl, that feels too convenient. And I don't think door 4 is the final door. Everything feels too convenient here. Hold on. If you knew of all the pain it has caused you to suffer thus far, spend eternity with me in the gentle embrace of darkness. The maid extended her hand for you. Her fingers, brushing up against yours, were as cold as ever. But her breath tickled your skin pleasantly, and her sweet words rang in your ears, filling you with warmth. You thought back on your time with her in the mansion. She had, indeed, always treated you... My slipper fell in my trash can. She had, indeed, always treated you with great compassion, and nothing she had said seemed to be a lie. There's no trash on my foot. It's a pretty clean trash can because it's only for paper. And so you pondered. What were you to do? Are we going to get a choice here? Of course there is. Of course there is. But before I answer this question, I'm going to go ahead and save for now, because I'm going to answer a question the next time I play the house in Fata Morgana. Everything feels so convenient, to be honest. Like, the maid being Morgana, the witch the whole time, and us, the master, being the white-haired girl. Something feels off here. I truly believe it. And also, one thing I remember is the fact that right before door 3, or before door 4, I think it was before door 3, we touched a mirror or painting, and we saw a memory within the mansion. We already seen a memory within the mansion already. The one where I believe it was Michelle being woken up by someone in a bed. Something feels off there. I feel like there's more going on here. As well as the man in the painting implying something. There's more to the background of what's going on here than what meets the eye. I'm not saying that Morgana is lying, or she could be, but there is something up here. I don't think it's all straightforward.
Okay.